Hello guys, and welcome to another day with Zimaleta. In today's video, I would like to talk to you guys about cars that I'm getting ready to fix and flip. Okay, so I had these cars for a while, and some of them I purchased recently, and I should have fixed these cars and flipped them right away. But tell me what you would have done. So as I got these cars, I also started driving for Uber and Lyft. And in the beginning, things were great. I was making like anywhere from $1,500 to $2,300 per week. So what would you do? Would you then continue doing that? Or would you focus on fixing and flipping cars? When I've done the math, I was like thinking, well, driving is easy, fixing stuff is hard, even though it's not. But I'm thinking, what's easier, right? Driving or fixing stuff? And obviously driving. And when I done the math, and I was thinking, okay, I invested, let's say like $1,500 into this car from a car auction. It's worth maximum $5,000 resale value. The car sometimes would have various problems, like maybe it needs maybe it's been smashed in the front, so I gotta fix that. I gotta take time, I gotta pull some stuff out, gotta straighten some stuff out, and then I gotta buy parts to fix it. And then by the time I calculate my time, I'm already not happy, because usually it could take about a week just to get there. And then on top of it, I'm investing additional $1,500 to $2,000 just to get the car, decent. And by the time I'm done calculating, I'm thinking like, well, between buying it and towing it and registering it and my time and parts involved and just sometimes painting stuff and getting stuff ready, first of all, it takes me more than a week to do. So one of the things that needs to happen, like either I learn how to do it faster, or, well, I need like a space to do it, but a lot of it I'm doing it outside, so it takes a little bit longer because a little bit more setup and stuff like that. On top of that, I did not have all necessary tools, all necessary parts. And once I got those tools and parts, I wrote things down and I have everything in my notes. And when I looked at it, I'm like thinking like, oh my gosh, I will basically fix this car, spend all this time and money on stuff, and then I break even. So I'm thinking, well, that's not good. Break even. Who wants to break even? So this is why part of the reason you get stuff at car auctions and it will be salvage, because they understand fixing it will cost you more than a car's worth, especially if you got to pay somebody for their time. So when I'm like looking at my own time, I'm thinking like, wow, it's like not even worth it. Part of the reason that it's like that is because when I buy these cars, I buy them sight unseen. I really don't know what to expect. I get it for the going rate. I don't feel like I'm overpaying. But if I fix it and make it look nice, the car will be a pretty nice car. Like, it would be functional, still considerably low miles. I could use it for myself and save money that way by not having like a car payment. But at the same time, the car is not worth selling at that point. It's worth using and seeing how much money I could save by using it and then flipping it like a little bit later on. Okay, and on top of that, I'm thinking like, look, it's gonna take me more than a week to fix it. Who knows how long it's gonna take me to sell it? Could be a month, could be 2 months, right? I have all this money tied up in the car because I have 34 cars right now. I just keep buying cars, right? It's kind of dumb, kind of smart, depending on how you look at it. And I will explain in the next video why this is actually kind of smart, what I've been doing. So what I chose to do instead is taking the easy route. So I'm thinking, okay, things are great driving for Uber and Lyft, at least at that time. Right now, not so great. This is why I'm changing these plans. And seriously, by the time I look at my 1099 for the whole year, driving for Uber, for Lyft, and then my external income stream, I was making over 6 figures. And I looked at it, I'm thinking like, okay, well, I'm doing pretty well here, at least on paper. And it's kind of like easy money. I didn't have to really struggle to really get that, and I've never made 6 figures before. But for the last 3 years, I have been. So what I've been doing instead, I've been using that money to buy tools that I need, equipment that I need, parts that I need, additional cars that I need, additional parts for those cars. And I've been basically kind of like just getting ready so that I could, take off and start working on that stuff. Some of the things that I've been buying, I've got now like a welder that is like TIG, MIG, stick. I got my in wire weld. I got my argon gas, like a huge tank of it. I've gotten 2 sets of acetylene torches, like with huge tanks. I got like one that's smaller tanks, and still the big tanks for like what you're thinking of. But I got some like industrial like size tanks when it comes to acetylene torches. I got it from somebody that was basically just getting rid of it, and I got a good deal on it. I can't remember what I paid for it. And on top of that, I've gotten a plasma cutter, and I've gotten like actually like, you know, nice toolboxes, like not like the coolest stuff in the world, but pretty decent toolboxes. Like I've never had toolboxes like that before. I'm talking about like, you know, with like nice drawers and stuff. Value is about like maybe like $1,000 a piece, which is like not a lot by any means, because there's some really expensive stuff, but at the same time, like things are getting organized. And also I've gotten like really like cool diagnostic tool, like a launch unit that I could use for diagnosing any car out there, which is kind of cool. And I've gotten additional stuff, like there's all this stuff that I got, like all of these tools that I didn't have, like that you could do your like brake jobs with. Like I'm talking about like getting rid of like vacuum, you know, putting system like brake. Oh my gosh. You know, like when you're trying to bleed brakes, okay, I got a system where I could use it. It's not that expensive, and you don't need any helper to help you bleed the brakes, because you put everything under pressure and you go bleed the brakes yourself, while it's acting as if somebody's pumping the brake for you, and then somebody's over there bleeding, which is kind of cool. I didn't have that before. I have it now. I've gotten stuff that completely sucks out like all the oil out of your car, so you don't have to drain the oil or suck out transmission fluid, because some of the transmissions that I have now, like some of these ZF transmissions, like in this Range Rover or my BMW X5 or my 5 Series BMW that I had, I don't have it anymore. Somebody totaled it, and I decided not to keep it. I could have kept it, but they wanted me to pay $1,500 for it when I actually bought that car for $1,500, and they were paying me $4,500 for it. So I went ahead and I took that. It was a 2010 BMW, very nice N54 engine. That is the picture you've been seeing on my YouTube channel. I'll be changing that picture, by the way. That is like just a random picture that I've chosen. So instead, I bought a BMW X5 for $1,500, and I think that was a lot better buy. Clean title, not smashed. Sure, like lots of issues, but engine is sound. So the engine actually is sound. It's just transmission needs service, you know, 4-wheel drive system and whatnot. Okay, so now I would like to tell you guys some of the cars that I'm getting ready to fix and flip. Now that I feel that all of this stuff is coming together, and there's a lot more than that, obviously, but some of the things that I need to fix: 2015 Jeep Patriot, 2013 Nissan Altima, 2010 Nissan Rogue, 2005 Chrysler 300. Like, it's fixed, but it's just a lot of cosmetical stuff. All of these stuff is just like cosmetical. Some like well, anyways, I also have a Nissan Maxima 2007, and well, it's just 2008, and a 2007 Murano, Nissan Murano, and I have a 2006 Mini Cooper Convertible, and then some other. Well, these cars I'm thinking about flipping. I don't know if I want to flip the Mini Cooper. I may end up just keeping that one. Bought it for my sister. She was the first owner of that car, and I just kind of would like to keep it and make it look nice and paint it. I will be converting that one into Mini Cooper Type S in the future, because it's a very similar engine. I just think it would be kind of cool to be able to do that. So it's a lot of content that's definitely coming up for the channel. Let me know, guys, if you're excited to see all of these different cars that's going to hit the channel. And on top of that, we don't want to forget about the Mercedes Sprinter vans. So some of them I will fix and flip that I have, because I have like 10 Mercedes Sprinter vans. Some of them, they're going to be project vehicles. But right now, I got some stuff that I gotta do. Like I'm working on some storage units for my parts and for my additional tools. Like got a sandblaster and everything. So I want to be able to clean out my garage and put all the stuff there, so that I could, you know, clean parts there, like, and everything, and start listing parts on eBay. And that's another thing I want to talk to you guys about. I have an eBay store, and I need to start listing more parts on eBay store and working on that. So that could be my money kind of coming in, and then I fix and flip some cars. So ultimately what I need to do is come up with income streams that can keep me home, right? And I want to just basically focus on something that is my passion, which is cars and car repair, and I'm just gonna be focusing on that. And I would like to build myself a shop and basically just work in cars and just have a blast. So as long as I could have like an income stream coming in that can fund my family and all of these other things, I would like to have some fun, like Lemons Racing, which I've talked about in a recent video. And this video, obviously, I'm telling you some of the cars that I'm going to be fixing and flipping. Also, I have a 2008 Lincoln Navigator extended. I don't know if I want to sell that one or not. I really like it. So I don't know. We'll see. But it's got a locked up engine, so that's going to be a project. I also have a 2007 Chevy Impala. So that one I may or may not flip. It sounds like it's got a rod knock, but it's really not, because what it is with that engine, it's got chain rattle, so it's got some bad chain tensioner guides and also chain tensioners. So that is something that's got to get replaced. And sometimes they have gunk that gets built up around the chains, which keeps the chain from tensioning, and there's a lot of chain slap. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. Take care of yourself. See you in the next video. Bye bye.